Hello, once again. Welcome to episode 338 of the Should I Play This Game podcast, a Keigh-3 review special actala. Yeah, it works. Graham Banks.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
I tried combining special and spectacular.
Didn't really work.
And it almost worked. It almost worked. So we have, 2, 4, 6, 8 articles that run down the different showcases that were happening during the summer of games announcements. There were a bunch
we didn't
of
watch.
others. There were a bunch of others. So we'll put the links to all of the websites that we're referring to into the notes for this episode. I think maybe, is it worth putting the link to the Steam page for the showcases as well for those smaller shows?
Yeah, we can probably do that as well, but we'll figure that out. Yep.
Because I added quite a few games to my Steam wish list in the course of both watching these and looking at that Steam page after the fact. You watched a few more than I did.
Yes. So we watched together or over the Sony one, the Brain Freeze. What was the other three? Xbox.
Summer Games Fest.
Keigh-3. Keigh-3.
Frosty. Xbox.
Xbox. Yep. I also watched Day of the Devs and PC Gaming Show and the Future Gaming Show.
Yes. And then there was also a Nintendo Direct.
Nintendo Direct, which I didn't even know was even happening. So, you know.
I think they announced it like 4 days beforehand. That's kind of what they do now. They just go, hey, check this shit out. We're doing one. And everyone's like, what? Really? Oh. So let's not fuck around. Let's get down to brass tacks. Let's have a look at what Sony did.
Yep.
Or quickly. So basically the format will be, we're going to run through, I think maybe the announcements of note.
Yeah, not everything, because
no,
we're here for hours if we did that.
No. And I think also mainly focusing on not just the announcements of notes, but also the announcements of things we actually give a shit about. There are going to be some of those games that were of note that perhaps we don't give a shit about, but I also don't want to spend too long going, yo, that Final Fantasy thing that closed Summer Game Fest was too fucking long. Because I think I already said that when we did the talk over, and boy, howdy, that was really too long. So let's start with Sony. About an hour of stuff. So we're looking at an article from pressstart.com.au for this one. This is not in show order, but it does have everything covered. God of War Laufey.
Yeah,
I think is how...
I think they're just saying Laufey, I think is what I've heard. But yeah.
Laufey, which is... Oh, right, yeah, because Faye's name's spelled different. That's fucking silly. But anyway, it's a side story where you play as Kratos' wife, who died in the 2018 God of War.
Yeah, the second... yeah.
And then she featured a lot more prominently in Ragnarok because it was Deborah Ann Woll. People who have seen Daredevil know her as Karen Page. From that, she is very good in that, and she seems pretty good in this. I think the biggest thing about this is the fucking cube, the gelatinous cube. Named Frank, but spelled really dumb.
Yep.
Phranque. What a fucking stupid, great way to spell the word Frank. Who's also voiced by Jack Quaid.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, Sony's getting names.
Yeah.
I don't know what level of care I have for this, to be honest.
Yeah, and I'm intrigued by it and interested by it because it's not going to be Kratos and the Sun.
Yeah.
That's what drew... I liked the first game a lot, but by the end of that game, that back and forth between those two got really, really fucking grating to me. And then
all reports.
And the second game was just the same, and I thought, I can't be bothered with this anymore.
The second one was apparently worse because he was just growing up to be a real shithead teenager.
Yeah. So the fact that it's not them is kind of interesting to me. So I'll probably play this one at some point when it's out. So yeah, I'm interested by it. I mean, if it's obviously not, as you said, it's a side story, it's a spin-off, whatever you want to call it. Is not the main.
God of War Gaiden.
It's not the main trilogy. So Kratos will be back. I know 2 years.
PlayStation 6.
PlayStation, yeah, I suspect so.
The the other thing about this is that on the end of the show where they said like years and stuff, it labeled this as in development. The talk is that this is not as far away as perhaps a bare minimum I thought it was. It's just they haven't committed to a time frame for this yet. So I said PS6 launch. It is entirely likely I'm wrong. I think it was Steven Totillo who was like, yo, this thing might be early 2027. They just didn't commit to anything yet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. Until Dawn 2, that's weird coming from a not supermassive, but I like the concept of fake reality TV ghost hunters that know ghosts aren't real and end up on an island and all possibly get killed off. That's pretty fucking great for an idea. I really dug what they showed of Wolverine.
Yeah.
That certainly looks neat. And oh god, that fucking time period in which it's coming out, it's like a 10-week. It's going to be an absolute graveyard of that 10-week period, but it looks cool as fuck. Yeah, apparently a bit more. Sorry, go on.
The only thing I would comment on that was the blood. Like, there's a shitload of blood.
Gallons of that stuff.
But then it disappeared off his body within like 2 seconds. It was really fucking weird.
The healing factor also cleans him.
Yeah, maybe it does.
Logan doesn't need a shower. The healing factor cleans him.
It cleans him, yeah.
Apparently quite more linear than what at least what I thought the gameplay looked like. Less open world.
We're wondering for how open world it was, so yeah, you've heard it's not so much.
But quite a bit linear, which not necessarily a bad thing, particularly if it's executed well. Control Resident got a date on the exact same day as Wolverine coming out. But that looks rad. I'm skipping Silent Hill. Tomb Raider. So an AI disclosure was added, and this was part of why we talked about AI so much after the SGF. There was an AI disclosure added to the Steam page for Tomb Raider, Legacy of Atlantis after the State of Play. And other than that, geez, it sure looks like they're going for a really nice upgraded version of the first Tomb Raider game with dinosaurs and shit.
Yep. I'm looking forward to that one a lot.
Yeah. Onimusha, Way of the Sword, also got a date, September 25th. So if you're playing at home, that's 3 massive games coming out in the space of a day. I played the demo on last week's Friday Night Fun, and I was very pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed it, and borderline pulled the trigger on the pre-order as soon as I finished that stream.
Why?
Because it's fucking sick.
No. Why the fucking pre-order? Just wait till the fucking game goes out and buy it.
Because I wanted the cute little dog charm.
Oh, for fuck's sake, seriously. You're the problem with why games are broken when they come out.
I'm part of the problem.
Yep, you're a big part of the problem. Yep. As long as you admit it, that's good. As long as you don't deny it,
I'm aware I'm part of the problem.
That's good.
I'm aware how many problems I've got. Phantom Blade Zero looks fucking incredible. I'm really looking forward to that. I think that is also releasing in that 10-week window of fuck. No Rest for the Wicked is getting 1.0. We both have that, right?
I have got on PC. Yeah, I mean that's
what I meant.
Yep.
I'm very interested in this. I've had it and I just haven't touched it because I don't like playing games in early access. Don't want to burn out on it by the time it hits 1.0. I'm going to be really curious how you go with it, given its apparent Souls-likeness.
I played it a lot at the beginning of it, and that game. But since then, that game has changed an absolute bucket load. So I'm actually more intrigued to see how that game now plays based on what I played back, which would have to have been a year and a half ago. But 23, 24. I don't know when I bought it now, but I bought it when just as it came out.
As did I. So, I just didn't touch it.
I played it for maybe a couple of hours.
Yeah.
As you say, it wasn't necessarily what I was looking for in that. Like I was hoping to be a bit less punishing, brutal, hard, is whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that game has changed a lot since I last played it. So I'll wait till it goes 1.0 and then have another look at it on PC and just go, okay. It is better than what I wanted, or it's more in the direction of what I wanted, or it's the same as what it was, and I've got my fill out of it, so I'm happy either way.
apparently, quote unquote, hundreds of hours of content, which is like, oh no. Bancho the Chef. This has a different look, kind of, to Dave the Diver, but it's also basically a non-pixelated version of Dave the Diver. But also a lot more cooking focused, which of course it is because Bancho was the chef, and the game is called Bancho the Chef. Beyond that, I don't know, but it looks pretty neat.
Yeah, it's kind of like a prequel in a way, I guess.
Yeah, it's somewhat of a prequel that basically establishes how Bancho became the master that he is. We got the very happy Ghostwire Tokyo lady to show off or talk about Kamuri, which doesn't have any store pages at this point. 3-player Destiny-like, but hunting yokai third-person thing.
Yeah, something, yeah.
I don't know. It looked all right. And I'm interested in the Lost Wild. I think that could be potentially neat. Apparently, they're making the dinosaurs act like animals, hunting the hunted animal element, and then I already knew about that, but they showed that off, and fuck, that looks sick in like both possible interpretations of the word. From a violence perspective and from a fuck, this looks rad perspective. Anyway. We talked about it at the time. Not bad, but also not great.
Stuntman Hollywood was announced.
Oh, okay.
I know you're skipping stuff you don't go, but I'll just come back and look at a couple.
Sorry, I should have deflected there.
Rayman Legends Retold was something you completely skipped over. That was announced.
I skipped over that purely from a function of I don't know what to go with that is yet. I don't know how much it's like the Legends and how much they're redoing it.
Doesn't matter. It's announcement.
I thought we were doing... Oh, wait. I got confused over how we're doing... I don't know. I skipped over Tokon Fighting Souls.
Are you interested in that?
Not really, no.
Well, then skip it then.
Yeah,
we're not doing everything. We're doing everything we both took interest in the shows.
Okay, right.
So if you skip, I'm going to go back and review stuff that you missed that I was interested in. So
there you go.
Rayman Legend Retold was something I was intrigued by. Now we actually sort out how we're going to do this thing.
The last edition of that comes with a remaster of Rayman Origins as well. Yeah,
which is cool. And yeah, as I said, the Stuntman Hollywood. I'm not sure what to make of it ultimately, but it looks kind of neat. So yeah, something to keep an eye out as it gets closer to a date of which I think was 2027. Did they actually put a date on that one in the end? I can't remember.
I can't remember, but it is in partnership with Universal, so they got a bunch of licensed properties.
Yes, there's no date yet on the Steam page for that one. So.
So I had Fast and Furious, I had Back to the Future, it had Knight Rider. I missed Miami Vice, but I never watched Miami Vice when I was younger. So that's why I missed that. And arguably there's more to it than just that.
Yeah. That's made by Saber Interactive, so yes, interesting. As you said, it was like 7. A good old standard middle of the road.
It wasn't much in the way of surprise out of this, and largely most of the shows. This was all about sort of showing known quantities to an extent.
Yeah. And putting dates on games that have been talked about for the last like 2 or 3 of these types of shows. So Control.
But the biggest surprise was Laufey. That had been rumored for a while. All that sort of stuff. But and Until Dawn 2 was actually kind of surprising. That it wasn't just hey, this is like Supermassive adjacent. This is a legit sequel.
Yep.
Everything else was kind of just a confirmation, or like with the demo for Onimusha was actually getting hands on it and going, yo, this is fucking awesome. So that was Sony. Now, SGF.
SGF, yep.
I'm skipping Final Fantasy because fuck that shit.
But let's just briefly say on it, it's coming to all platforms at launch, which is a big difference to the previous 2.
Yes, that is very different from the first.
That's probably the thing to highlight from that thing.
Yep.
Now that means all 3 of those games for that whatever they call it, remaster, whatever, of that game is now out on all platforms, or will be once this thing comes out. So yeah, now everybody can play it from the beginning to the end.
Everyone can shut the fuck up about Final Fantasy VII. Moving on.
All right.
A remake of Resident Evil, or reimagining of Resident Evil Code Veronica, apparently has both Chris Redfield and Claire. I can't say the word Claire now without thinking obscure. Or maybe it's Claire Redfield and Chris. I don't know. I never played the original on the Dreamcast, but the Resident Evil remakes that Capcom have done have been all, except for 3. I never played 3, but 3 is apparently one they sort of shuffled off to a different team. The rest, the ones that Capcom have done, have been fucking phenomenal. And Capcom is on a fucking all-time run. So that's fucking sick. You mentioned, I think, Wolf Among Us 2. Being interested in that.
So that's coming out 2027. That's the long-awaited sequel to the game from God. 2018? 2017? That long? No, can't be that long ago, surely.
I'm guessing.
How long ago?
There's a remaster of that coming out later this year, though. Yeah. A remaster of the first.
Let's have a look at the Wolf Among Us. That was 2013. Bloody hell.
I was close.
So it's 13 years ago. The first one came out. Yes, you're right. There is a remaster of that game coming out in, I think, this year sometime.
This year, I don't think it has a date.
Don't think on a date yet. And then the sequel is sometime next year. Again, no date. But that's all from Telltale Games. So yeah, looking forward to that one. Looking good.
Speaking of games with no date, Stellar Blade, was it Blood Rain?
Blood Rain. Yep.
No indication on what it's coming out on either. What the fuck? It's running on UE5. It would be shifting away from publishing under PlayStation. They're self-publishing. So basically, it will probably be coming out on damn near everything, possibly other than the Switch 2, I'd say. But the trailer looked really nice. But that's kind of a redundancy to say that these days, but it looked really nice. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin.
Yeah.
A game being made by Platinum. So I'm cutting up a bunch of fuckers with the Ninja Turtles. Let's go. I think I want to say The Last Ronin is a storyline that was, it was a comic book series. Published 2022 through to 2022. So it's a adaptation of that, it would seem. I don't know. I don't think it's going to have that sick-ass Ninja Turtles song, though.
No, probably a bit more serious than that one by the sounds of it.
What a disappointment. What do you think about the Cuphead announcements?
Too early to tell what they are, to be honest. So one, there were 2 announcements from that developer, Studio MDR. A new game, like a new sequel, effectively to to Cuphead from that was a long time ago too. And then a Mighty Cuphead Adventure is like a platformer in the Cuphead style
universe,
but
style. Also like apparently coming out on the Master System.
Yeah, actually coming out on the actual.
They're actually putting a Master System version of this thing out. Which I was a Master System kid, so that's fucking sick.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably not really going to get into them, but I mean, neat that they're putting out what they're putting out, which is cool. But yeah,
I did like that spot though, where the dude's like, the phone works.
Yeah, yeah, the actual bit in the show was good. Yeah.
Zero Company got a release date, August 27th.
Probably should put Star Wars in front of that to be more precise.
That's a fair point. Star Wars XCOM.
Yep.
And it looked really good.
Yeah.
That's
actually, it's interesting. There's a couple of XCOM style games coming out or talked about. So it's good that genre is not going away, because it kind of was for a bit of time.
Yeah. But there's also the part where those XCOM games did so well that you can't not go away from that.
Oh no, you can't. But they were a while ago, so. Yeah.
I don't know what level of care I have about the actual game itself, but I think the biggest surprise out of the entire week of announcements, Tupac's alive and is living in Japan. There have been varying degrees of, I want to say, impressions on this reveal.
You probably should say the game of it.
Stranger Than Heaven, which is the new RGG, Ryo Go Gotoku. Basically, it sort of leads into the Yakuza games.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they had a cast list, and there were two notable standout names because there was a bunch of Japanese names, Snoop Dogg and Snoop Dogg's son.
Yep.
And then they showed Park walking out, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
All eyes on me? So there's big questions about how that's going to be handled, particularly from a voice perspective. But yeah, I don't know.
But he was with the Tupac estate, so it hasn't been sort of done on the slice.
But the Tupac estate now is apparently just some lawyer, because I forgot his mum passed away a couple of years back, and his sister's taking the quote-unquote estate to court, basically going, what the fuck are you doing?
Either way,
so, yeah.
It's done legally.
So,
covered.
yes, legally.
Legally covered. I'll just use that. But yeah. That game's intriguing. I'm really intrigued by that. I probably would like to play it, but I've just no idea what that game is.
It's an RGG game, so it's probably 150 fucking hours long,
exactly.
like Sony.
Yeah, so, yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely a thing. What else we got? Blood Message was what? I don't know how to react to Blood Message. It looked like it could be really neat, but it looked like I thought Hex looked fucking cool as shit. Which was the...
Yeah, I remember vaguely what it is, yeah.
You got like a Rubik's Cube and you twist it and shit rises up and falls down.
Yeah.
How that actually works, I have no idea. Will I think it's cool when it comes out? Probably not. But I don't know, graphically it looks good, but that's also not how you say that word.
No.
Hex. There was the announcement of the Mortal Shell 2 open beta, which I played, funnily enough, on the Saturday version of Friday Night Fun this weekend. That is substantially better than I thought it was going to be. I really enjoyed that, so I'm really looking forward to that now. Assassin's Creed Resynced. I know you're pretty keen on that, yeah? I'm very curious how they go about doing that without the anima stuff, but the anima stuff was also so inconsequential in that game from memory that it kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah, I can't remember either, but yeah.
What else? Crossfire. Which, is that actually trying to bring back the Crossfire series from Korea, or is that just a naming coincidence?
I suspect it's just a naming coincidence.
Yeah. That trailer looks fucking rad, though.
Yeah, it's ex-Naughty Dog devs, so yeah, it looks really, really cool. So, yeah, looking forward to that, and again, no date on it, but yeah.
No, I don't even think next year, to be honest.
Oh, next year. Be late next year, for at the earliest.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. End of Abyss, which we pointed out last year. It got a release date of October 1st. It's that twin-stick shooter that looks really creepy with, like, spiders that look like hands and stuff like that. On PC, it's only coming out on Epic. But it's going to be out on Xbox and I think also PlayStation. Twin-stick shooter looks really neat. But it's, again, coming out in that middle of that fucked up absolute wasteland of a zone. The Virtua Fighter game that's also now just Yakuza but Virtua Fighter. Apparently there is actually like a, for lack of a better term, arcade mode in that where you pick a fighter and you go through fights, but they've also got this Yakuza-like mode, which is really weird. Apparently it didn't start off that way, but that's how it turned out. Weird that RGG would turn that into one of those. I've skipped over some things outside of like Soul Frame. Sure, that could be great, but it also... I played the prologue of 1666 Amsterdam.
I was curious about that one, because that seems to have been falling a bit flat in some areas, I've heard.
So that game, the trailer... the prologue doesn't really give you a good outline of what you got to do.
That's probably what I'm coming from, is saying you're playing going, what is this thing versus what the game's going to be, and people are going, well, why even put this out? Kind of reaction. So yeah,
it does more to set up the tone and the sort of narrative. There's like a dual. Kind of like it's kind of very like it. Just for some context, the one of the main dudes behind it, Patrice Desolé, was one of the main directors on the first Assassin's Creed. So that first Assassin's Creed really hammered home the current and past storyline breaks. This looks like it's doing something similar. It was incredibly weird when you're playing it and you're reading or having read a letter by your dad. And he's like talking, I took this lady home to the hotel room and we got it on. And it's like, wait, you're telling your daughter this? And then all of a sudden he turned into a cat and he ended up in 1666. And it's like, what the fuck just happened? So it does both the trailer and the end of the prologue does go on to show like combat and stuff like that, but how that actually works, how they're balancing the two time periods and all that sort of stuff is not entirely clear. It does apparently it's launching into early access later this year. If they say so. Yeah, right. I don't know. It looked pretty nice, but fuck knows what it is.
Yeah.
It was really neat walking around the library. There's like a library index, and you got to find a book. That part was pretty cool. Anyway, Blood of the Dawnwalker, I think will hopefully be really cool. But again, that's a September game, so there's a lot of those. Sword of Legends, the most nondescript fucking name of this entire fucking thing. When I say this entire thing, not just of SGF propers, but the entire announcement window.
Yep.
The most blank of blank story game name ever, but it looked like another Chinese Souls-like, which signed me up. Hot Wheels open world driving. Infinite Rush. That thing looks fucking rad. I'm very curious how it handles, because I think that's obviously one of the things that's going to live and die by. Clutch. Yet another open world driving game with people from Forza Horizon or from a Forza Horizon background. Story-driven racing game set in Monaco and the French Riviera. Apparently the cars handle a bit more sim-like than perhaps in Horizon. But hey, open world driving is always fun. And unless you've got anything else, were there other things you were...
anyone that you missed over, well, not skipped over from your side, was Gen Atlas, which is another game from Fumito Yoshida, Shadow of the Colossus dude. That had lots of like just really stunning, massive mechs and stuff. I'm not really sure what you're doing in them per se, but it looked really fucking cool, and just the scale of everything was really neat. So, not sure.
That was known as Project Robot.
Yeah, exactly.
I almost think Project Robot's a better name.
Probably better of a name, yeah.
It's like, hey, this is a project with robots.
Sadly, that game is an Epic
exclusive,
so it's coming to PC, but on that platform. But it's also coming to other platforms, so yeah. But there was another. I stood out one from just the scale of what they were showing you. So yeah. But that was all I saw. That was the only one I would have added to the list.
Yeah, I was almost going to touch on it, but I'm like, I'm still not 100% sold on it yet. I think I'm not going to be probably until it comes out and reviews hit for it, so I get a much clearer picture of what you actually are doing moment to moment. Because you're a dude who's got a gun, but Ueda-san very much said, yeah, he's got a gun, but it's not a shooter. So it's like, okay, well, what the fuck is it then? I don't know how to address the Frosty Game Fest.
Yeah, I just started looking at that. So the Frosty Game Fest, which is the Australian and New Zealand showcase, in effect, had 50 plus games shown over like an hour. So the games came incredibly thick and fast. I think maybe what did you wish list from that show? Can you remember? Probably. Probably hard to tell at this point,
I already had Blighton on a wish list.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I added Box Night and quite possibly Bravest Coconut. I think I might have wish listed Bravest Coconut solely on the name. even though the game looked pretty rad. What else? Canvas City I already had on wish list, which is basically Tony Hawk plus XCOM. What else? I think I maybe might have had a dwarf. But it didn't quite. Echo Zero, like Dwarf, Echo Zero, things that I'm like semi interested in. I remember you were interested in Edwin Erstwhile Medical Examiner, which is a pretty neat name, just quietly.
Yep.
A Hawker, but Hyper Primate I added. But even then, I'm not 100% sold on that being good.
This list is just alphabetical.
Yeah.
Acting out was really interesting. That was the that was the thing. We're not really sure how that would work in practice, but essentially, it's like a Jackbox party style game where you're actually acting out movie scenes somehow, and I'm not sure if you're designing it for a particular purpose or just to have fun. But either way, yeah, okay, cool, I guess.
Another curious one for me is Sting and Swing, where you're a little bee with a golf club hitting the ball.
Yeah, yep, that one. Yep, remember that one. Yep.
But even then, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, because the Isle of Lost Bees you were interested in.
Yep. Cloudlings was another one that caught my idea. It was like a sort of city builder in the sky kind of thing.
I think the Troll in the Witch House.
Cozy game restoration was interesting because you're basically restoring old cartridges and stuff. So yeah, another interesting one. But yeah, I mean, this game came so quick, thick and fast with games. By the time you'd gone to the next one, you'd still only just got your head around the one you just watched, and it just came so quick.
Wait, you got your head around some of them by the time the next one came along? It took me like 3 or 4 to get my head around some of them.
Some of them, I'm not saying all of them, but some of them. But yeah,
Trading Card Inspector and Unqualified.
Yeah, I'm just
both of those look like they could be neat.
Yep, Lone Pine was interesting as well, I think.
This one just had, like you said, just shit coming left, right, centre, and very little of it actually said Australia to me.
Yeah, no, I mean it's just Australian. They're not designed to tell you they're from Australia per se, but they're just Australian endeavour. And actually another one that's I don't even think it was on this list on the showcase, but it was at I think it's that one. Yes, it was Magicians, the Devil's Deal.
That was Xbox.
That's an Australian developer.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna get to that when we get to the Xbox one, because that one has a real Bioshock vibe to it.
Yeah.
And I added that to the wish list when we were watching it, so I did not know that they were Australian.
Yeah, neither did I until I was watching something earlier, and that guy said, "Oh, they're Australian." So, yeah, as I said, it's worth watching that show. As it's an hour, it'll go through, or an hour and 10 minutes, whatever it was. You're going to cover a lot of games. They're going to be massively different from the previous one you just saw. So, like a massive variety of game types in there, game genres. So, a pretty slick show as well. Like the way they presented it was pretty good. Obviously, being that quick. So in terms of presentation, it was probably one of the better ones because it just went bang, bang, bang. You had no fluff between stuff. A little bit of sort of talking to dev stuff, but not much. So yeah, it was just the wide variety of games made it so hard to get around what you'd watched to then watch the next one. But yeah, definitely worth checking out that show. And a lot of games are worth looking at. So
certainly very interesting things being shown. How much of it I'll actually play. Xbox.
Yep.
This is not in show order either. Probably would be more useful in that way, but you know. There's a new Hellblade game coming that's not actually a Hellblade game.
Nope.
Senua. Looks like a much more action take.
Look like it's more a God of War style action game rather than the previous ones, but interesting.
They actually showed some Fable gameplay. It's coming out on February 23rd. They announced that like a week before this thing.
Yep.
Basically blaming Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, which is probably a good thing because now what you mentioned, there's 10,000 other games coming out in the same window anyway, so makes even more sense.
That 10-week window, man, there are going to be so many games that get left behind. It's going to be really sad. Gears E-Day, they showed off some gameplay at the start of the show. Then they did their, I think they called it a direct. And all things considered, that looks really quite neat.
Yep.
October 6th. Exclusive to console on Xbox. So there was a PS5 port. That's just now going to collect dust on a digital shelf. I think, like, if the gameplay they showed made the enemies look a lot less spongy than they eventually became. So if they stick to that, that would be really neat. But, yeah. And then 12-player Horde mode.
Yeah, like a new... Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that game a lot. I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah.
There's a new Spyro. What the fuck?
Yeah.
the only not Call of Duty Activision game shown, and it was fucking Spyro.
Spyro,
what the fuck? I was like, maybe Tony Hawk, but no. Doom the Dark Ages DLC. Of my 3 predictions, this was the only one that came to pass. I'm going to predict Wolfenstein 3 at these things until either I die or Microsoft stop doing these things, because god damn it, that story needs a conclusion. But whatever. Doom the Dark Ages DLC, so Revelations it's called, July 7th. And there's a spear as well as the chainsaw shield. And it looks fucking sick. And there were some really neat looking sort of throwback levels too.
Okay, I haven't played the game.
No,
so
it looked like Doom 1 and Doom 2 levels.
Oh, that's stuff. Yeah.
So that looked really neat. So I'm curious how they're going to build that in. They announced Persona 6, which I called basically as soon as it showed up as Atlas. Another 150, 200 hour game that I'm too terrified to actually play. They showed the Persona 4 remake during this thing as well. I would love to get into one of those games, but fucking hell. Anyway, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, they confirmed it'll have DMZ, which was the largely extraction mode from... Which one was it? The Modern Warfare reboot, the first one? Maybe? Which they said, hey, it's in beta. And then after a bit, they were like, it's not in beta anymore. We're not doing this anymore. Peace. And it was probably one of the more interesting things about that Call of Duty. But since Modern Warfare 2. Oh, no, whatever. 3 new missions for Halo 1, Halo campaign Evolved. And they look pretty big and sprawly and look pretty rad.
Pretty cool. So they feature Sarge, who's one of the main characters from the original game.
He doesn't make it through that game, does he?
I don't believe it's that. Yeah, I believe that's that character. Yep.
So that's
out in like 6 weeks. So that's cool.
Yep. 28th of July. That is coming to PlayStation. The Plague Tale, not Plague Tale game.
Yeah. So this is a game. It was. We were looking at going, this looks like a Plague Tale game, but not really. And
it had the developers from
the same developers. Then it's this, so it's just like a spin-off sort of thing of that series, and you completely different like characters and all. So yeah,
apparently she fights through 2 different timelines: the Middle Ages and the Minoan period, which that's fucking weird.
Yeah,
and there's no rats. What the fuck? How's it a Plague Tale game?
Yeah, no rats, and it's more actiony than the sort of stealth-based stuff in the game. So yeah.
Looks fucking neat though.
It looked really cool. So yeah, looking forward to it. That's out in August, end of August.
27th of August, same day as Zero Company, isn't it?
I have no idea.
State of Decay, I already mentioned Persona. February 2027 for that. So February's now looking more and more stacked as well.
Yep.
State of Decay 3.
What else was new? Bad Magpie. That was interesting.
Is that we haven't got to that yet.
Oh, you're going to go through a sea of themes, are we?
No. Metro looks rad, but I'm looking forward to that. You said Bad Magpie.
Yep.
That really is a bad magpie. Little shit.
Look like a Stoner, not Stoner County, Untitled Goose Game style thing, which is cool.
Causing chaos. I like the idea of a chaotic magpie burning shit. Woilong 2, I'm very interested in because I really enjoyed the first Woilong. That's early 2027. What do you reckon about this Join Us?
Yeah, like it was an interesting trailer they showed. It's like a city builder, like a builder, but you're doing
City cult management
cult
builder.
kind of thing. So,
but you also had guns and shot shit.
Yeah, so it was interesting. I mean,
and you rode a pig.
Yeah, and it's just called Join Us, which is great considering it's a cult game.
It's a fucking good name.
It's a good name for what there is. So yeah, I mean, I'm interested. I'm not sure if I'll play it at all, but yeah, that's out sometime March 2027.
Yep. I don't know how much I want to talk about the Crazy Taxi game, but they used the Offspring song.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not too sure what that's going to be. That's got a lot of negative about it because it's got a lot of AI apparently in it. Or AI use in it.
Yeah, the Steam page AI descriptor really doesn't say what they used it for. And I know some people tried getting a bit more information from like PR reps on the floor of the game days or whatever it is, where people go and actually play the shit.
Yeah, go hands on. Yep.
And they were like, it's not being used in the game. So it's like, why? What are you doing with it then?
Yeah, what are you doing with it then? Yeah.
So yeah, but a lot of people shat on that. But that song very much made it. That's definitely a Crazy Taxi game. And we are at Magicians, The Devil's Deal.
Yeah, so that game is obviously published by Focus Entertainment, which is the Requiem Renaissance people. But yeah, the game is Uppercut Games is an Australian dev.
Fucking good name. Uppercut Games is great.
It's a great name for it. So yeah, it looks like a first person kind of shooter.
Devil Bioshock.
But you're a magician and you can sort of, your weapons are your tricks and stuff. So yeah, very interesting premising. Looks pretty neat. So
it does. Yeah, that looked neat. I added that.
That's out sometime next year. What else we got?
Valor Mortis, which I downloaded the demo for. I didn't get to it during the Saturday version of Friday Night Fun. I'm going to play it this week. That's September 24th. And then Castlevania, Belmont's Curse, October 26th. That's the last week of that fucking Murderer's Row of 10 weeks. Vivarium.
Yeah, it looks very neat as well.
Very Studio Ghibli.
Studio Ghibli sort of stuff, but yeah.
That's 2027. And Clockwork Revolution is coming out in 2027 as an Xbox console exclusive. And fuck me, does that thing look rad.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Is there anything that I skipped over that you care about?
Nope, I think we've gone through most of that together. That's cool.
From a... Excluding the three smaller shows we're about to hit, I think from a overall games to interest ratio, I think this one might have been the highest.
This is of the big four we covered, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It was, for me personally, as I said, I've said it every time, I'll repeat it every single time, these showcases are good, bad, and different based on if the games they show you are interesting to you and you only. If they don't interest you, they're going to be boring as batshit. End of discussion. That doesn't matter. So yeah, they're so subjective. So
three of those games, Halo, Gears, and Fable, got really expensive collector's editions that's fucking sold out in like an hour. And the Jack of Blades is back in Fable. I forgot. Oh, anyway, Nintendo had their direct. It was about an hour long. There are literally, I'm going to say 2.5 games because I'm really like Splatoon Raiders sounds neat, but I don't have a Switch 2 and I'm not getting one just for that. Rhythm Heaven Groove comes out on this original Switch and Switch 2 July 2nd. That's finally got a date. So that, let's go. And there, where is it? Further down. Piku Niku 2. Devolver published. The first Piku Niku was really neat. You basically are a little round red head with legs. Maybe that's why I have such an affinity for that guy, because he's also redhead. He knows my pain. But yeah, they're making that 3D, so that could either be really cool and really interesting, or it could be Super Meat Boy 3D and not really understand what made the first game so neat. A lot of shit was shown basically going, hey, this is coming out.
Yeah, a lot of stuff has been
on Switch.
On other platforms coming to Switch too, which is fine.
Fire Emblem got a September date. I am super wanting to play Pokemon Pokopia. Apparently that thing is fucking cool. And Popplio is going to be in it. And then the worst kept secret, I think in almost all of video games, there's a remake of Ocarina of Time. And they showed a grand total of 30 seconds of it because they needed to show like 5 minutes of a thumb war in Switch Sports Resort. Which Link's got fingers now. Good for him.
So one thing we should probably call out as a bit of a shitty thing they're doing is not that I'm going to play it, of course, because I don't have the platforms, but in Donkey Kong, there's a DK challenge that can be on Nintendo Switch.
Limited time multiplayer mode.
Limited time stuff, so it'll go away after a period of time, which I think is really fucking stupid and shitty, but Nintendo can do that kind of stuff and get away from, whereas other devs can't. So I think that's bullshit. That's bullshit and should be called out and should be.
There are a couple of things I think that were at this that are also coming out on PC that I added. I'm going to try and pronounce this and probably fuck it up. Jujutsu Kaisen Rumble Survivation. Which, if we were still doing best game name, I would make an argument for that being a pretty strong contender. Survivors Royale. Battle Royale, but Survivors, or an arse game. And also, Muramasa Revenant Blades. Looked like a really neat 2D action RPG where you cut shit. So that was neat, but everything else was very Nintendo. Are you thinking about getting a Switch 2 at any point?
Oh, fuck no.
Whoa!
Could not justify this. I'd never play it. Literally never play it. They don't have enough games to justify that console for me. So
I would really like to try Splatoon Raiders, but yeah, like you said,
I barely touched the first one once I bought it. So.
It came in really helpful when the power was out, and I played some Blatro and some Pocket Card Jockey and shit on it. Moving on. Day of the Devs was, I think, probably quite possibly the most interesting, maybe, outside of the Frosty Games Fest.
In terms of their presentation, it was pretty neat. But yeah, it was also relatively short, but it was pretty cool. Let's take some of the highlights from it.
I think I added... no, I didn't. I didn't touch Blood Dungeon. Tenebria's Somnia. Retro survival mixed with FMV. Sounds all right. Mr. Records, I've heard, is very cool.
Yeah, really cool.
Where you're like an old dude who runs a record shop.
Yeah.
Didn't you play when it was in early access 33 Immortals?
No.
Okay.
No.
What else is there? There was a couple things out of this I not pre-ordered. I put on a wish list. Screenbound is getting a release date in September.
And it's got a demo as well.
Yep.
That's out now.
Super Ukulele Kart. Fucking let's go. Apparently it looks really like a Mode 7 Super Nintendo Mario Kart game.
Yeah. Apple Crumble, which is the Duck Detective team.
Oh!
That's them again with a sort of a Knives Out style thing, which is really cool. So
this is a hell of a combination. Knives Out, mouth-washing, and a bit loopy in general.
Yep, so this is another one from that... that's when someone's trying to kill your grandma or something in that game, so that looks... That's Happy Broccoli Games, that's them back.
Great fucking name.
It was a great name for a dev, we said that a couple of times, but yeah, so looking forward to that one.
There is a 6th Trine game coming. That's coming out in September. Yeah. That is one of those games that's going to end up buried.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I mean, yes and no, because not every of the big games is like your list. You're saying that I don't give a shit about half the games you've talked about that are coming out in that period of time. I just do not care. So that's again comes down to if those games appeal to you, then sure, it'll be a terrible time for you. But for some people, Trine 6 will be the big thing that comes out of that period of time. So yeah. Just quickly back on that Immortals,
33 Immortals.
Yeah, when I see that cover, the art style for that, that says Clairobscure all over it. Look at the art, the font, the views.
Does a little bit, yeah. The font work in particular, it does.
The font work. That's the only thing I'm really highlighting. That, so yeah.
But yeah, it's you have 33 up to 33 players in a lobby, and you're basically trying to co-op your way through this dungeon up to a boss, like kind of an MMO style.
Yeah, it's interesting, but yeah,
an interesting concept, but fuck me, do I not want to play it?
No, exactly. Yeah.
God, but yeah, super neat. Just broad stroke. Like, there's going to be another new end game, like the ninja platformer Flash game. N plus Infinity times 2, which fuck yeah, what a great name. But yeah, there's just a lot of stuff here that looks really neat. Ithaca was one I added to my wish list.
Yep.
Road trip RPG.
Yeah, prove your human. Prove your human looks really intriguing. I'm not too sure what exactly that is. Exactly that game, but it looks really cool.
Apparently, you can walk around and make captures. Always wanted to fuck over a computer with those things. Little assholes. Yeah. Like, I think there was a somewhat of a lunacy to this thing.
Yeah,
there always is for devs.
It's all the devs. It's always a bit different. So, but yeah, I think
your description was a bit more nicer than mine.
But yeah, the Mr. Records is probably the one that I think is probably the highlight from that show, because the music they seem to show off in that little stream was really, really cool. There's some pretty good music in it. So yeah.
Okay, let's try and tackle the PC gaming show.
Yeah, all right.
Fuck. Oh God.
So let's you've not watched this? You didn't watch it, did you? No. So
I just looked at the Steam page.
So this has got, I think the same host they've had the last couple of years. Whose name completely escapes me. The show itself was really kind of bad presentation. Like they got so they had them doing some sort of the premise was the two hosts were in like a sitcom style stage, if that kind of makes sense, and they were trying to just the way that they had the banter, quote unquote, between them was just really like they've got really good hosts there. Let them fucking host the show.
That was my problem the last time I watched one of these, was that I couldn't get a good sense of whether the hosts were any good, because what they had them say was so fucking ridiculously stupid.
Yeah, so
I was like, fuck you, I don't want to listen to.
That's what this was.
Okay.
So every time I watched it and it came back to those two, I was skipping through that bit to get
nice.
I'm
sure that's what they wanted.
I just didn't care what they were doing, because it just wasn't doing anything for me. Future Game Show, which we'll get to obviously next, had Troy Baker and another voice actor of Lara Croft from the game about to come out, or next year's come out, and they were better, but they weren't doing anything. They weren't trying to beat. There was no real play between them. A little bit, but no, not to the extent of these. This thing. This was.
It is hard to do one of these well.
It is. I just think the way that the PC. I think they're just leaning into that kind of stuff too much these days for PC gaming.
Hey, video games, eh? Am I right?
And I think they should just let these people just host the thing. But anyway.
Hello, fellow kids.
Yeah, basically. Anyway, yeah, so...
Star Trek City Builder?
Yeah, Star Trek City Builder looks pretty cool. Star Trek Outpost Unknown is basically that. So it's in that that sort of thematical, which is pretty neat, I think.
I think it's funny that there's a Company of Heroes Definitive Edition, because I think there's been at least another one or two of those already.
Yeah.
But the original Company of Heroes is fucking fantastic. I've wanted to play 2 and maybe 3, but Jesus Christ, where do you find time? Where do you find time? What else did Control Resonance. Yep. Sure thing.
Hack 95, which is like I don't know how to describe it, but it's got a demo, so it's worth checking out the demo, which I haven't got a chance to check it out yet, but I've got it downloaded. So it's like it's a game that's based on your own desktop and pretends to be Windows 95 from obviously 10, 20 years ago now.
1992.
Yep. So it's really, really interesting, but yeah.
I did see you pop up playing There Are No Ghosts at the Grand.
Yes, so that is an incredibly short little demo. It's probably, I think I played it for 20... let me just look at the hour count, because
you popped up playing that when I was streaming. I'm like, oh yeah. So I looked at the store page for it, and then I couldn't remember, and then I Didn't pay attention.
So according to Steam, I played it for 61 minutes.
There
Half
you
of that was me just letting on the planning game while I did something else. I just started up and did something else for like half an hour and came back.
Nice one.
I forgot about it.
Always good when you do that.
So take off half that time, essentially, for how long it actually this demo is. I think to call it a demo is probably a bit of a stretch.
Are you able to speak about what the fuck it is?
Not really.
Awesome.
Reason is because it's so short. I'm not really sure what you're doing moment to moment. But when the demo, what this thing is, starts up, there's no introduction at all. You're just chucked into this environment. You're basically
better way to sell an audience.
Yeah, you're basically in this hotel room. So I think the basic setup is you're playing as a character who has bought a hotel called the Grand, and you're doing it up to get it ready to be a new establishment sort of thing. So the first part of the game you're playing, you're basically in this room, you're cleaning it up. You're getting off, you're taking down the paint, old paint on the wall.
You're hotel flipping.
Yeah, hotel flipping, essentially what you're doing for this bit. And then this other character joins you, and then you're driving down this road in sort of like a really linear path with this cat on the front of the bike. And the cat's great. The animation of the cat is awesome. I reckon it's really, really cool. You then get onto a boat. You got to fix the boat first. Like you're literally putting the motor in the boat and that kind of stuff. It's really kind of weird. And then you're on the boat. You're steering the boat a little bit, and then it went into a sort of where you weren't controlling it anymore. No, you were, sorry, but then the other character on the boat with you started singing a song that was basically kind of telling the story. And then at one point it flipped to you singing to the other character, and you're trying to tell a story. So, and then after that you get onto this island. Shit goes awry. You land up you're in a bunker. You got to spend the night there because the boat gets something happens to the other boat. They get taken away somehow. You basically then quote unquote spend the night in this bunker. First off, you get the room ready. You paint the floor. You paint the ceiling. You put a bed down. We just pull out of your machine and put it on the ground. I don't know how that works. You're then chased by these monsters. You've got this. In the first part of the game, when you're doing that something in the hotel room, you've got this character tutorializing the game for you on the machine.
Paintbrush guy?
Yeah, on the machine you're using. He's a Scottish voice. He's really snarky.
Yes.
Your character is essentially saying things like mentioning the fact you're going through a tutorial to this other characters.
Ooh.
No, it's really.
It works well.
It works well, and
because you say that, and I'm like, break.
Yeah, it's not quite that bad, or it's not as bad as it kind of sounds. So I came away from this game saying, I don't know what I've just played, but
I wake up from a stroke.
But I want to play more of it because I think the way they've done it is just really, really interesting. So I'm not too sure exactly what you're doing moment to moment. The game's out in October. Out in sometime this year.
Okay. Apparently, the neighborhood cop is going to die in 30 days.
Yeah, there's none of that. In fact, if you see the art style,
that's revealed in the
none of that is there. But the cat talks to you, or you talk to the cat, and he talks back to you. And the cat might even be in an Australian accent.
Fuck yeah!
So it's just really, really different. And yeah, I'm fascinated by it. I still don't know what exactly you're doing moment to moment.
Hey, that's fine.
But it's really, really intriguing what this thing is.
The next thing on here is Virtue and a Sledgehammer. It doesn't have much of a description there other than a demo's out. I didn't realize it's a Devolver game.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I think the first sentence basically lays it all out on the Steam page. Go back to your hometown and tear it down with a sledgehammer in this narrative exploration game. Say no more.
Yep.
If you get the fuck shit up with a sledgehammer, then I'm all aboard.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned the tactical genre not going away. Happy Bastards. How did this look?
I've not played this yet. I've downloaded the demo of it.
Okay.
But there's a demo for that.
So perhaps more to say about that next week.
I've had that on my Steam wish list for quite some time. So,
Alrighty.
hopefully, by the time we have our more standard podcast, I'll have actually had a chance to play that.
I think I had /have/0 on a wish list. A sequel to Cassette Beasts, which is basically Pokemon but tapes.
Yeah, something like that, which is kind of interesting. Yep.
Two tight spaces. What a great name!
Great name. Yep.
Sequel to Fights in Tight Spaces, the card game. That shadow dropped. I got home and saw that. I'm like, wait, what? So I promptly bought it. Windrunners is one I think I added. I think I had like a Luftrausers kind of vibe to it from memory. Wardens of Avalon, I added that. Basically, I think first-person RPG where you smash shit. What sort of vibe? What did you get from Impulse? Oh, that's right. This is the game from the Splitgate people.
I'm not even sure even ringing a bell with me.
6v6, basically Titanfall.
Yeah, I'm not playing a 6v6 game, so no.
I
probably saw that was cool, then realised it was a 6v6 game and then turned off.
That sounds about right. I played a little bit of Splitgate. Sorry. I played even less of the second Splitgate before they took it down. Maximum Thunderness. What a great fucking name that is. If you like loud music or want to experience a game where your opponent won't knock you out because you're likely as annoyed as they are. Okay. That is a fucking fantastic description. Let's look this up on the Steam page. Did you remember this from the show?
Yeah, it's like a I got Castle Crusher Guide vibes from God, that game's fucking what, 20 years ago?
08, 09?
Something like
that.
Yeah,
I can see why.
So yeah, like it's just a left to right scrolling game, which looks pretty neat.
Yeah, I've just added that. I'm getting really fed up of the roguish elements games, but like this one looks like it could be really neat.
Yep. Since before we go any further, I also took an interest in Stronghold 4. That was announced. Has a demo out in a couple of weeks. So that was that one, and the one I don't know if you're going to do it or say it or not, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Rivage, something.
Rivage. I probably wasn't going to say it because like puzzle games with time loops, I'm too stupid for.
Yep, alright, that's cool. But yeah, so that's something, so that's exactly what it is, a time loop sci-fi puzzler. So I'm intrigued by that one.
The irony of me saying that is I just went to this Steam page for Time Strike, which is a single-player FPS that gives you maximum control. You can dodge projectiles with time. You can like send objects into other objects, and it's all voxely, so you see shit just blow up. I don't know. I think I've also got Mr. Magpie's Harmless game on a wish list as well, which yet another fantastic name. Yeah, I do. So it's a card game, but it's also horror based, so maybe some Inscription there. Ascenders Beyond the Peak I've also got on a wish list,
and that is a demo out now. That is a turn-based XCOM style mountain climbing game. So it's
all of it made sense right up until you say mountain climbing.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yep. So you literally, like while climbing games are all is a very different. Like it is literally that. So the fact you didn't know that that's what it was.
No, I did. I just like when you said it, and it just like it makes perfect sense right up until you say climbing games.
Games,
Wait, what?
So,
particularly because Can came out earlier this year. There was the climbing game I was into right up until I wasn't.
Yep.
That sort of deal. Night Dive has shown off their next remaster, which is Thief.
Yep.
I never played the original Thief games, and my knowledge of them is that they're way too hard stealth for my liking.
Yeah.
In that if you get found, you get fucked up real quick. El Paso elsewhere too. Let's fucking go. Yet another strange horticulture game. Strange scaffold game. Sorry. They put out a lot of those. And Beast of Reincarnation, I've already said, I'm fucking super looking forward to it. To Kill a God. Interesting.
Yeah, Beast of Reincarnation looks actually... I'm actually interested in that one as well, which is surprising.
I don't think it's as soulsy
as... that's why I'm... It's a bit more...
character action
rather than that sort of thing. That's what it looks like, so we'll find out when
I think Phantom Blade Zero is actually in a similar boat. It looks a lot more soulsy than it actually is. Pipes.exe. What?
Yeah, and that's a really weird thing. I'm not too sure what that is. It might be
Armistice. Sorry, go on.
It might be like the Hack 95 that I was talking about earlier, I think. Yeah.
You need to see it to or play it to get a better...
I think so, yeah.
Armistice, I played the demo of a little while ago. Shooter with some roguish elements to it. It was all right. But like always with those sorts of games, that inherent repetition, how much does it get bogged down in that? Dave the Diver in the Jungle.
Yep.
More Dave the Diver. Generative AI for localization. Yeah, okay. I think. Yes?
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
I think so. As long as then someone checks it, that's okay.
Yes. Because speaking other languages is fucking hard.
But that's the DLC for the obviously the Dave the Dive from years ago. So that is currently available for pre-order. Not that you should. And it's currently 10% off. It's only $13.50 without that 10%.
That sounds like a great idea. Let's do it now.
And it's out on the 18th of June, so it's not far away for that anyway.
Hey, remember Valheim?
Yes.
That's actually finally fucking coming out.
Yeah, we got 1.0, yeah.
Which is actually really funny because, like, in its year of release, PC Gamer made it its game of the year. So I was like, oh shit. Remothered, I added to my wish list. Red Nun's Legacy. Okay. Wait, the first two games are free? All right, I need to.
So I've also
I forgot what Remothered actually is. Oh, they're not free anymore. Oh.
I also added to my Steam wishlist Locator, the search for Abigail Vidari, publisher from the publisher of the Golden Island games, but it's like by GeoGuessr. That
Yep.
That sort of style game. So interesting, but yeah. So interesting.
I like the concept of GeoGuessr, but you have to pay to play more than like one game of it a day.
Okay, fair enough.
But anyway, Into the Wind. I want to say we've seen this before.
I believe we have. Anyway, it's on my list. Yeah, I believe it's been out. Was that new? Oh, that might have been new. I'm not so sure now. But yeah, like your neat art style, your sort of Studio Ghibli style thing again. But you're taking over some sort of your father's or uncle's or something's
like a delivery business.
I think, which then has some weird story stuff in it. So, and you're also trying to find out what happened to your uncle. So yeah.
But you can also shoot shit when you're flying.
Yeah, like it's, as I said, it's kind of weird.
Oh man, this looks fucking sick!
It looks really fucking cool, doesn't it?
Particularly the bike riding part.
Yeah, like it looks really, really cool. It's out in early access sometime this year maybe. But yeah, it's an early access game when it does come out. But it does look really neat art style wise, and yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
I've just added that to a wish list, so let's go. And that's the last thing on this article.
Yep. So it was a pretty, as I said, take out the presentation, it was a good show. Yeah. Lots of good stuff. Again, lots of variety. But yeah, so it's a pretty neat stuff on that one.
The PC gaming one and the future one also always have some really neat shit at it.
Yeah.
But again, like you say, sometimes the presentation of it leaves something to be desired.
Yeah. I think if I was to, we might do this at the end of the show, but if we're going to rank them all these shows we talked about, this one would have been second or third. Xbox would have been first. Probably Day of the Devs second, and maybe this one third. But yeah.
And then there's Future.
Yep.
So Arizona Sunshine is a game that's been in VR for a good few years. They're finally taking out of VR and putting it into normal screens.
So just before we went further, so this was hosted by Troy Baker.
Yes.
And the other person I was trying to think of.
Alex that's a weird way of spelling Alex.
Yeah, Alex Wilton Regan, who's Lara Croft in the new Tomb Raider game out next year. And yeah, they were just on a stage, standing, talking to camera. That was it. There was a bit of stuff between them, but it was way more.
Yeah, there's an extent you don't want more than that, but you kind of do want more than that to show they actually give a fuck.
Oh, they do give a fuck. Seriously, dude. You didn't watch the show.
I didn't see it, so I'm just based that on worst case scenario.
So yeah, they did. They cared about what they were doing.
Awesome.
I mean, they're good
That's
people. Good, they're good voice actors, so they're going to be good at presenting stuff. So, so it was a better presentation than the PC gaming show.
From what you described of the PC gaming show, that probably wouldn't be very hard.
No, true. A low bar. Low bar. Yes.
Yeah, a low bar set on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Arizona Sunshine, I'm looking forward to seeing that. That look, that's always looked really neat, but I keep forgetting it's VR.
VR, yeah.
So I'm like, oh man.
Yep.
What else we got?
They did more stuff on Ace Combat 8, which I think was also in the
Sony show.
Sony show, was it? Yeah, okay. Gothic 1's getting a remake.
That's already out.
It's already out. Fair enough.
I'm just looking. So Dusk Fade is probably the next one.
No,
I actually played the demo of this a while ago.
Just curious. Realm of Ink didn't tick any boxes for you.
Again, the roguish element, like particularly that Hades style roguish game.
Yep, fair enough.
There've been so many of those at this point that they have to do something special to stand out, and that one doesn't to me.
Fair enough.
When I played Dusk Fade, I'm like, this is fine, this is pretty neat, but also it's kind of, there's a lack of polish, or there was a lack of, I don't know, maybe a lack of oomph to it, or something that didn't sit right with me. Apparently it's coming out later this year. It was fine, but I don't want to say it was great, but maybe it polishes up better and comes out in a better state. I don't know. Wheelmates I've already got on a wish list, but I feel like I'm never going to play it because it's a co-op car game.
Yeah, okay.
It takes two but cars.
Yeah, okay, that's kind of odd.
Which could be really fucking neat, but it could also be an absolute fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
I reckon I could talk a mate of mine into playing that, and we'll see what happens. But that's September 7.
Yep.
Be My Horde I already have. It's in early access. I don't think it's actually out yet. I don't think it has a 1.0 date. There it is. No, it's had a major update, but that's it. So no indication of when that's coming out of early access as yet, or at least none that I've seen. Fading Echo. Did I? Yeah. I feel like I've played that in one of the many instances of downloading a fuckload of demos and playing them. Yes, I have played this. And it's actually kind of really fucking neat. Third-person action game, but you can change into like different liquidy type blobs that both help you traverse. Oh, you've got it on wish list as well.
So what are we talking about? Sorry, I'm looking for a slightly better. Looking for a slightly better article than what we've got that actually has more about each game. But do I have it on
so yeah, you can turn into different blobs, and which help with traversal, but also can weaken enemies and stuff. That's super neat. Prison of Husks. When
did I add that to my wish list? Okay.
Fuck knows. It's got on the Steam page that you want it.
No, definitely not saying that at all. Just wondering when the hell did I add that?
It looks super neat. It was really neat when I played it.
Yeah, not. I'm just trying to think. I don't think I added it while I was doing this show. Must have had it on there a while. Just go.
That's always good. Go back to your date added for it.
God, I added it nearly
3 years ago.
Nearly added it 12 months ago. Literally 8th of June last year. when I added that. I have no idea.
Nice.
Okay. Cool.
Prison of Husks. Basically sort of PlayStation 1/2 looking era Souls-like. Hey, you say the word Souls-like, I'm going to be at least interested. So this is on a wish list. I think... Did you ever have any interest in Forever Skies?
I think I did, but I think, again, it's like one of those... sort of like your thing with...
Souls-likes?
Souls-like, there's just a shitload of them, and it's hard to keep track of what they all are, sort of thing.
Yet another F-Zero like with AGX GP that I've got on a wish list. There's also like Aero GPX or some shit that's been out in early access for a while. Marsupilami 2. What the fucking fuck? Because Marsupilami is like a Disney cartoon, but also apparently a Belgian comic book character. A neat looking side-scrolling platformer. I have added that.
I think when they introduced you, they said this is another game from the world-loved Belgian thing. Sorry, fucking what? This would be Tintin. That's what I thought they said, because that's... I think.
Wait, is Tintin Belgian?
I think he is. I could be wrong on
French?
That. I thought he was Belgian, but I could be completely wrong on that.
Find out. Yes, created by Belgian cartoonist Hergé.
Yeah, so I thought that's what they mentioned when they said I was going to be Belgian. I thought there's only Tintin. That's the only one I know about. And this came and said, sorry, what?
Particularly when the subtitle is Salsa Colombia.
Yeah, so this is very...
That doesn't say Belgian to me, but yeah, I always knew Marsupilami as a goddamn Disney cartoon. Ding Hai, the Ocean Pillar, is yet another Japanese, or not, I shouldn't say yet another, that's not nice. Another Chinese Souls-ish, but it's also roguish as well. So the extent to which I stay interested in that, who can say? Assassin's Creed showed up here too. Was it different in here than anywhere else, or did it?
I think they might have done one of their... So the Future Game Show do 2 or 3, maybe 4 deep dives, as they call them. And I think that was what I think they did a deep dive on this. So it was like a 3 or 4 5-minute long little section where they go talk to developers and blah blah blah. Yeah, so I don't think it showed anything more we hadn't already seen. So, but
is it just me, or is Ubisoft fairly quiet for this I guess window, this summer games window?
Yeah, they are pretty quiet when you look at it. What have they got? Just that, and what else have they got?
That's a fucking good question. I think it's only this.
I think it might be just that.
Apparently, I did hear they were doing, quote unquote, something with Far Cry embedding a shitload of AI into it. And that's not coming along well.
I can't think what else they've got this year. Let's do a quick sidebar.
Let's fucking spell. Or type, more to the point.
There's no good and evil stuff. Beyond Good and Evil, I should say.
Rayman Legends.
Okay, yep.
That is them.
That's them.
I think that's it.
That's it.
There is a Reddit post, but that's fucking old.
They've got an absolute shitload of stuff in the works, but they always do.
The main thing Ubisoft has been in the news for recently is closing studios and laying people off.
Which I think they're about to do again. I think there's a report.
Yeah, there's one coming.
Yeah, one coming for that one. So, they closed 2 studios recently, I think, too, didn't they? So, yeah, that company's...
So, under upcoming games on the Ubisoft website, which is also the Ubisoft store, there is Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, Monopoly Star Wars.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep, that's $50.
Good God.
Morbid Metal, which is already out in early access on Steam at least. I think it's just hey, let's put it out on the Ubisoft store. Rayman Legends Retold, and Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era.
Okay, going back to one of those old games. Okay.
It's an official prequel.
Mm.
So yeah, Ubisoft ain't got much going on. I think they're trying because they did that big organizational split when who's the Japanese Chinese company that buys a lot of stuff?
Oh, Tencent.
Thank you. Tencent made an investment and they split off into a bunch of dev houses where like there was one that was doing Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and maybe Ghost Recon.
Mm.
And like they split it off like that. And I think they're trying to do something Far Cry with generative AI, and it's not coming together.
Mm-hmm.
Blasphemous 2 got a free update called The Third Sin, which reminded me that there was DLC for Blasphemous 2 that I didn't buy and hadn't played. So I've got that on a wish list. At some point, I'll either buy it or maybe I was dumb enough to buy it already. Because I know I reinstalled Blasphemous 2. View DLC in store. Yep, I bought it. Oh, because it was cheap. It was $6 or something. So yes, I have reinstalled Blasphemous 2, but I haven't played it because that's like 30 hours and hard. I think they will come. I think is what I'm interested in.
So that was interesting because that seems like a stealth game where you're playing as this little kid or something trying to. I'm not really sure. It looks, not something I'm particularly into.
No, horror, action, adventure, steampunk. Survive a nightmare and save your family.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's pure stealth and you can't do anything once you're found, that becomes way less. Oh yeah, okay, that becomes way less interesting.
Yeah, I was interested in that game when they first started should have showing off it, but then as I dug more into what it was, I thought, now not so much.
Yeah. The next one I did definitely add was Skate Stere.
Yep, I added Bio Eden, which is a
that definitely doesn't surprise me.
Yep, sort of a city builder kind of thing, but like you're trying to actually a bit like Terra Nil from a few years back.
Yep.
That sort of concept. You're trying to make the planet or the environment, and you're trying to revive almost extinct animals. So it's a neat little concept. I was wondering if you were going to
September release.
I was kind of curious if you had Skate Stair on your wish list.
As soon as I saw that show up on that Steam event page, I had a quickest look at it. I'm like, fuck yes, let's go.
Mm-hmm. Do you know the person that's in who that person's based on? Okay, I was curious. I'd never seen her before, never heard of her. So
the most recent skater I know of is probably Ben Margera.
Okay, that's one more than me.
And he was on Jackass.
Okay.
And oh boy, has he gone off a drug-fueled cliff in the last 10 years. DLC for the Alters.
Yeah, I must have missed this one when I was watching this, but yeah.
I mean, there's also DLC for Vampire Survivors, which apparently was accidental.
Yeah, like there was a weird that bit in the show was weird too because the main guy that was doing all the talking had this mask that looked like it was made of Lego on him, so you couldn't see his face at all, and he was just talking about all the stuff, and he said, "Yeah, this was going to be
trying
like
to do a Daft Punk thing."
I'm not really sure what he was. It was really kind of odd.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was kind of weird, but so this Alters thing is a sort of it's DLC for the main game. Not too sure how you get access to it if you hadn't finished the main game, so I'm curious about that. But it's also free with the game, so you got to buy the.
It's free, is it?
You got to buy the what do they call it? The deluxe version, I think, is what they say.
Oh yeah, okay.
So to buy the deluxe version of the main game, and you get this part of that. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which is fair enough. So.
I did have there's a few games I've gone over because for reasons. Mistfall Hunter I did have on my wish list before I went back and looked at it. I think I looked at it on Saturday night. I was like, "Oh right, this thing. It's a fucking Souls-like extraction game. Fuck that shit." So I took it off. But the Souls-like part I was definitely interested in. But why the fuck would I want to do that in an extraction format?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Deadroot.
Deadroot, yeah.
Would be the next one.
I thought you were curious about that one. So
yep, I saw this on the event page. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, so these are Metroidvania,
Now.
but you're a snail, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. I thought that the Rite of Dust and Sorrow was interesting, but this article is not showing us a lot of art about some of these games that are on this list, so we've got to go look it up to remind us of what the fuck
irony
they were.
being is that Games Radar is actually a future outlet.
Yeah, like yeah. Yeah, this was interesting. This is like a pixel art, story-driven horror game. So it's not necessarily up my alley, but I didn't think it was too horror-y, if that makes sense. But there's a demo for that.
Okay, so it does look like there's some ammo and shit. Okay, I'm gonna add that.
So there was it did seem like you weren't completely fucked over by no ammo kind of a thing, but there's a demo for that available at the moment. No date on the release at all, but yeah, there's a demo for that.
Oh, the animated GIF that further down the Steam page makes it look like gives you much better an idea of how the combat sort of stuff works. Like shooting heads off zombies and shit. That looks alright. So the last three things on here: Tomb Raider, we've already talked about. 1666, already talked about.
Yep.
Exodus.
Fuck me.
Haven't mentioned.
Jesus, that looks like I know they're saying it's a Mass Effect inspired game, but
it's hell of Mass Effect.
That's not half of it. It is a Mass Effect game basically without being one. So they did a real big deep dive, and I think it was like, from memory, it was like 10 minutes long, 15 minutes long or something.
Okay.
With the, I think Chris King, the games director, talking over it. And I know they've said it's a Mass Effect inspired game. It is basically Mass Effect.
It's hell of Mass Effect inspired.
It is just Mass Effect. It's got so many things that are from that game series that you just think, oh, this is the next Mass Effect game.
Well, it hasn't been one of those since at least that Legacy, the Legendary Edition came out.
Yeah. So this looks fucking awesome. It seriously does look good. So
I already had this on a wish list.
I had it on my list from
fucking fantastic
from a while back, but it looks really, really good.
From memory, the shooting parts look a lot better than Mass Effect.
That's my impression too, just on the gameplay we've seen. But so yeah, like it looks really, really good. Hopefully it sticks to landing. The thing, I think, as you said, I think the gunplay is going to be solid. It's always going to be the story that was the main driver of playing the Mass Effect games, but that story was so good. But again, like even the character thing, you can play as a male or female. So there's your male shepherd thing again. You got that again. So yeah, I think it is. I mean, this is not to say not surprising, considering they're ex-BioWare devs, so it's not surprising. Yeah. But I think to say that it's inspired by things, that's doing a shitload of heavy lifting there. It is just a Mass Effect game basically.
One thing I found about the Mass Effect games is that I needed to play them twice.
Oh, both sides, or bad and good. Bad. They've got the same thing. The Paragon they've got the Paragon and Renegade system. They've got a different name for it, but it's basically the same thing.
I always played through as the good one, even in KOTOR.
Yeah,
do the good one first.
Yep.
The bad one was always more fun because you were being more of an asshole.
Yep. Yeah, so they had the same system, but they give it different names, but it's the same case of system. So
right.
Yeah, so it looks really, really cool. It's probably one of the games I'm most excited for overall. Amongst everything, it just looks like a bloody solid looking game. But again,
so that's early 2027, which again, early 2027 is looking fucked as well. I want to have a quick squeeze, depending on how this is going to go. Late, sort of mid-August. Okay. And this already has stuff that take into account like smaller indie games that have already been announced, like a Galos 2, which is kind of like a Metroidvania platformer. That's August 27. So if you go back, the Mafia DLC is August 14, so maybe set that as the bar. I can count. I think I played Kalanoro, which is on not our list. It's Wikipedia's list. I don't know how interested I am in this Metal Gear Solid collection because I think some of those games would be neat to replay again. But holy fucking fuck, do I really want to replay or play some of them again? Resonance of Plague Tale, Star Wars
Yes.
Zero Company.
All on the same day. Actually, the other game that I've got on my wish list is Luge Lagoon. It's been on my wish list for months. That's on the same day.
Yes, I think I added it when you talked about it last.
I think that's on the same day as well. That's all August 27th.
That's kind of the Tailspin game.
Yeah, yep.
And Agalos 2 is also the 27th.
Yeah. They've added a new column to this page now. It says it's got a... What are they calling it?
Oh, compilation port original.
Yeah, they've got types now. They've got a type. So
that's neat.
Yeah, that's a new column they've added to this. We're using a Wikipedia article. That's not been on there before. So they've got original, port, early access, remaster, compilation, full release. Not sure what full release is versus a...
Out of early access.
Out of early access. Expansion, port. So that's an interesting thing to add to the list, which is cool. Sorry, just got distracted.
So Volume 2 of the Metal Gear Solid collection, Ghost Babel, which was the Game Boy Color one. The big ticket one for a lot of people is Metal Gear Solid 4. That had only been out on PlayStation 3, never been ported, but like half of that game, you can basically put the controller down and just watch what happens. That was the most movie-like one. And then Peace Walker, which was the PSP one. But not the PSP Acid games is what a lot of people liked. But the Tarnished Edition stuff of Elden Ring is coming to Elden Ring propers. What else? Blood of the... All right, so September is a fucking nightmare. Unfortunately, I don't have a Switch 2 because I would really want to play Orbitals. That thing looks fucking fantastic. It's the 2-player space adventure game.
Okay, yep.
With like a fucking fantastic art style. But Blood of the Dawnwalker is the new game from from Rebel Wolves, so CD Projekt.
And also, people worked on Hazelight Studios.
Yes, that too.
So, yeah.
Valheim. I'm going to go back and look at Valheim.
I think that game.
Play it for like 20 minutes ago. Oh, fuck this.
I think it's changed a lot too from when we played it.
Screenbound.
There's a demo of that out on Steam at the moment. If you're interested in that, I'm interested in that too. I'm just fascinated by
download that.
How interesting that game's going to be. I'm a bit annoyed it's not a controller game. I thought it was based on this.
Oh, is it not control? Maybe they haven't put controller support in yet.
Maybe I haven't, but I thought based on what
partial controller support it's got.
Yeah, maybe I'm not sure how partial that is, but yeah.
Well, it can't be any more partial than one of the games I played last. Golf 5 Max. I played the demo of that on the Saturday version. You could press the A button to advance things in the menu, and that's fucking it. You couldn't do anything else. So I had to play a golf game with a keyboard, but it was like 3 clicks, so it's fine. But like Wolverine on the 15th.
You haven't got
Fire Emblem.
You haven't got a PlayStation 5, do you? No, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So would you play that?
I bought one during the pandemic. I would like to play it, but I'm so much more comfortable playing games here. But I don't want to try and drag my PlayStation in here and try and fit it on his desk. So I might end up playing it. That might be one of the first PlayStation games I've played since Horizon.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
What would mine be? Jesus.
Before that.
Fuck. Can't remember. Jesus.
Mine's just a video box at this point.
Mine's not even that. Mine's not even plugged in. So it's sitting in a cupboard.
There you go. Fire Emblem is the 17th, but neither of us have a Switch, so who cares?
Yeah.
Paperhead I have played. That's coming out on the 18th. That is a first-person shooter with like papercrafty type environment design. I didn't think it was very good when I played it. Windrunners on the 23rd is that Luftrausers like. There was another jet game that was very much like it that I can't remember. Control Resonant.
24th, yep.
Hot Wheels Infinite Rush on the 24th. Silent Hill Townfall on the 24th. Onimusha on the 25th. I don't care, but Minecraft Dungeons on the 29th. Crimson Moon is one that I think a mate of mine wants to play, and that's got that's like a co-op Soulsy sort of game. So that's quote unquote September.
So September's not that bad.
There is that, yeah.
It's not as crunch as I thought it was, basically.
There was a list I saw that had more on it.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Like, because there's like Harvest Moon, I think, is one that quite a few people are interested in, but I don't really care about that sort of game. Dragon Quest. Oh, that's just the port. Who cares? Dawn of War 4. That's on the same day as Wolverine, I think. No, 2 days after.
2 days after.
So the next game in the Dawn of War RTS series. End of Abyss. That'll be on October 1st. Rayman is on October 1st. Ace Combat is on October 2nd.
Yep.
Gears is October 6th, as is Star Wars Galactic Racer. Which I'm hearing a lot more positivity around. So I'm starting to maybe turn a corner on that thing, and maybe it might be all right.
Okay. Fair enough.
Earth Defense Force 5. No, who cares? Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. Valor Mortis on the 13th. Castlevania on the 15th. There's a Toy Story collection coming out.
Just saw that. I had no idea what that was.
Yeah, it's like the Mega Drive and Super Nintendo versions of Toy Story and shit.
Yeah.
Tenebris Somnia, which was that survival horror type thing. Cotton Reboot. What the fuck is this? Cotton Fantastic Night Dreams is a scrolling shooter game. Okay, good to know. Final Fantasy on October 2nd. Switch Sport Resort 22nd. Call of Duty on the 23rd.
23rd, yeah.
One Piece on the 23rd. That's that 8-bit or the sort of pixel art cooking game. Or sort of management game, which looks at least neat-ish. Phantom Blade Zero on the 29th.
No Rest for the Wicked is out. It's apparently going to come out in 1.0 in October.
And then you look at fuck me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 games in November and December. The only games that had the balls to take on Call of Duty of any sort of semblance of size, Barbie Rewind and Godzilla Destroy All Monsters.
So the games that are taking on Grand Theft Auto are games that are no fucking crossover with Grand Theft Auto.
No, that's the thing.
That's the thing. Like,
there's no need for...
Like,
I don't think there's a need for pushing games the way they have.
I agree 100%. I think pushing...
or like trying to force everything out
of there just because that game's there. Because I get why I can understand it to a degree.
I can understand the theory and the logic to an extent, yes.
But if you sit there and go, well, okay, what's the Venn diagram? What's the Venn diagram of Grand Theft Auto 6 players in our game? And if there's a shit crossover, move it. But if there's no crossover, I don't know. Maybe they just think it takes up all of the sucks all the oxygen out of the room in terms of getting your game out there.
But the attention economy, is probably Grand Theft Auto will claim most of that.
It's probably maybe that's where it comes from, rather than actual game players playing one game over another sort of thing.
But I think something like a Valor Mortis could come out in November just fine. And be absolutely fine. Yeah. Wolverine, Gears, that sort of stuff, I can see why you'd try and avoid it to an extent, because
for those games, they're a lot bigger. There's also more of a crossover because they're shooter stuff, they're action game sort of thing. I'd love it if Grand Theft Auto fucking delay to February.
That's been the joke the last week or so.
And then we just
how fucking funny would it be?
Everyone just moves
delays to February,
and then it just comes back in. Everyone just moves back into October.
And so far, the only two things coming out in December are both on the Switch 2. One's coming out on everything. Dragon Quest Monsters: The Withered World, which they showed off at that Nintendo Direct. And Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Nintendo Switch 2 edition on the 3rd as well. And then there's just a metric fuck ton of like unknown 2026 games. And I think February is getting to be a really busy month as well. That's starting to become really quite busy. Oh, there is no 2027 list. Weird. Okay, they haven't got... There's not a Wikipedia page yet that's listed the same way as 2026 is. Oh, hang on. There is. Found it. So, yeah, January's got Stranger Than Heaven. January 15. In February, it's Tomb Raider, Persona 4 Revival, Fable, Metro 2039, and something called Demi and the Fractured Dream.
Mm-hmm.
And then in March is Join Us. And I've only skipped over one game, and it's Wandering Sword, which is a port to the Switches, PlayStation 5, and the Xbox Series consoles.
Mm.
So, like, just that early period, like February alone has some big games.
Mm.
And that's not even to say what else is coming out in the rest of that year.
Mm.
But yes, quite a substantial amount of games shown.
Mm.
I think when you compare it to years past, I think the level of surprise isn't there. I did see one or two threads on Reddit basically going, we need to stop paying attention to these people leaking games. That would have been a real good surprise to see, Zelda. But it got leaked. Meh. And like, I don't think you can't put that toothpaste back in the tube because video game websites make so much off of interest in leaks and stuff. And it's the same as movies. Anything that you have wide public interest in, people are going to want to know information about.
Yeah, the difference between the movie industry and the gaming industry is movie industry is not a secret.
No.
Like,
they have to report shit, don't they?
Well, I'm not sure they have to report stuff. Or they just report stuff. For minute a movie's been in development, they tell people the movie's in development.
It's not like a Legend of Zelda. Like, people are like, oh, that Zelda remake would have been such a better surprise. And it's like, if you're only watching these things to be surprised, boy, do I have some magic beans to sell you.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
the surprises are nice. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like, just seeing, knowing, and it's the smaller stuff that ends up surprising me 9.5 times out of 10. But yeah, I thought relatively solid. Some really interesting stuff coming. What the aftermath, or when getting to the end of November and seeing what happened with a lot of those games in that 10-week window, I think is going to be very interesting. But you're right. I said that to a friend of mine. Like, fucking Grand Theft Auto does not need to be avoided like it's a nuclear bomb about to be dropped. The bigger AAA games and the attention economy and all that sort of stuff, absolutely. Fine, maybe. But I think even something like Star Wars Galactic Racer.
Yeah, I think it's the attention thing. It's where the
attention economy is absolutely a big factor.
I think it's that. And more point is that they've got a marketing budget for each of those games. And if you're fighting against that thing, you're probably not going to get value for money.
You're not going to get as many eyeballs or ear holes on it.
So it's not necessarily a game playing crossover. It's just that people knowing your game's out there, sort of thing, because everything's going to be on Grand Theft Auto. And I'm not even sure I'm going to play it. I'm certainly not going to play it at launch because it'll be an absolute. I suspect it
is likely to be an absolute shit show at launch. It's only coming out on the consoles at launch, and I've already said time and time again, I'm much more comfortable playing games here. Wolverine might be the only exception I make for that.
Yep.
But like, there's also the part of, is online going to ship with GTA 6? Because if it doesn't, people will just play through the actual campaign for between 40 and 100 hours and go, okay, cool. And then that's when it starts picking up more momentum, is when online comes out. So what if Rockstar turns around and goes, oh, we're launching GTA Online, let's say February.
Yeah.
Does every game in February go, oh, fuck,
and
try and change?
Yeah.
Like,
I
don't know.
Yep.
But there's plenty of stuff I'm interested in. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yep.
What games am I interested in? Fuck everyone else.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
So there are 17 events under the Summer Games Fest banner.
Fuck me.
We've talked about 6 of them. So we talked about Sony. 6? Yeah, 6.
I think 7 or 8.
Oh, it might have been 7. Anyway, so we talked about Sony, Day of the Devs. Let me make sure I got Frosty Games Fest, Xbox, PC Gaming Show, and the Future Gaming Show, which actually isn't one on this list, which is interesting.
No. And you also forgot Summer Games Fest proper.
Oh, Summer Games Fest proper, yeah, which also is not on this list. So that makes this might be like 18 events on this bloody.
Jesus Christ!
On this comes out of that banner. So yeah, there's things like the Black Voices in Gaming. There's a thing for women-led games. Latin American games, Asian games. Like, there's a whole bunch of things that are really
like 2 or 3 narrative showcases.
Narrative sort of stuff. There's Doinch Indie Showcase. So lots of things get under the banner of Summer Games Fest as well as the show called Summer Games Fest. So you've got to give some credit for Keigh-3 to putting that group of things together. It is the one way where, for me personally, I don't follow the gaming news through the year at all. I just do not give a fuck about it. But it's these events that I go, oh shit, I had that. It's where my wish list goes from 100 to 150 games. Is events like this. So I just don't follow the gaming stuff at all to know about these games beyond that, outside of those 2 windows. So,
well, if we want to talk about wish list numbers, do you want to know what mine's currently sitting at?
No, I don't want to know because I know roughly what it is. Probably about, 1250, 1200, 1300?
1265.
200, yeah. And some of those are released, so it's not actual.
Some of those are released, about 100 odd. I don't know. I'm not even going to try and guess, but yeah. If I'm remotely interested, I put it on the wish list. It comes out, and then it doesn't stick the landing. I'm like, oh, well, fuck this, remove. But yeah, some interesting stuff coming.
Yep.
So next Sunday, we will record a podcast where we talk about the video games we have played over the last few weeks. It's going to end up in about a 4-week gap.
Yep.
Twitch.tv/Enemy Starship is where I do the streaming business. Pretty much Fridays and Saturdays, unless I get home like I did on Friday. I'm very sleepy and had a nap until like 6 o'clock. So yeah, if you follow me there, you get a notification when I go live, and that stuff goes up on the YouTube channel, which, unless you're listening to this on a phone, on the podcast app of your choice, you are probably seeing this on said YouTube channel. So that's where I put the silliness that I do. Anyway, Graham Banks.
Yes, it's been good.
Yep. Lots of stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, is it? Indeed.
We will be back in, like I said, about a week. For now, look after yourselves. Have a good one. And we'll see you on the next thing. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.
Bye.